Okay, so we received an email from Peter, and he's telling us that he's found a property that he likes, and now he wants to know what the next step is. So he wants to buy this property. In this case, it's in Estepona. So the steps that we need to take would be more or less these. The first, find yourself a lawyer to handle the purchase. Please call us if possible. The next thing is going to be if you're buying through an estate agent, normally they're going to be after a reservation. Now, the reservation is normally a small amount, €3,000, €5,000, to hold the property in place and take the property off the market. That is and then after that happens, the lawyer that's representing you, the purchaser, will request all the documentation from the estate agent or from the seller's lawyer. So we're going to ask for a copy of the title deed, find out what the urbanistic situation is of the house, make sure the electricity, the water, the rates, the rubbish, and the community of owners, and sometimes the gas are all up to date. The solicitor's going to check to make sure the property does belong to the person that's actually selling it, and make sure that there are no charges on the property. If there is a mortgage charge, well then obviously the lawyer is going to organise so that on completion that charge is lifted. And what he will do is he'll distribute the completion money. Part will go to the bank so they can cancel the mortgage, and part will go to the seller for the equity in the property. So normally the lawyer will draw up a 10% deposit contract, minus the €3,000 or €5,000 that's already been paid, and that contract will set out all the conditions of the sale, the time scale, furnished, unfurnished, etc. A lot of detail goes into that contract, and that will set out all the conditions. The lawyer is going to request that you sign a power of attorney in his favour to handle the purchase, to open up a bank account in Spain, because you'll need that later on for the direct debits, and you'll also need it to move through it the money for the completion. He'll also, on that power of attorney, include the faculty to request your Spanish NI numbers. When you buy property in Spain, you have to have a Spanish NI number. Basically what this is, it's a tax number that will identify you moving forward, both on the purchase deed, then to pay the transfer tax, and then in the future as you pay other taxes in Spain. The lawyer, between the deposit contract and the completion, is when he'll normally get all these things into place. In other words, the power of attorney, with that he'll open up your bank account, he'll request your NIE numbers, and then he will later complete for you. Normally the 10% deposit you'll be sending to the agent or to the seller's lawyer, while the actual completion money for the balance of the price plus the expenses, the lawyer is going to ask you to send it to your new bank account in Spain. Initially, at the beginning, when you purchase, you'll be buying as a non-resident, and that will be you'll have this NI number that the lawyer will request for you. At a later date, once you've purchased, you'll need to discuss with the lawyer whether you're going to remain a non-resident, become a resident, and all the ins and outs of visas and other detail, but that can be dealt with all after the purchase has taken place. Normally between the reservation and the deposit contract, normally we're talking about 15 days or something like that. And between the deposit contract and the completion at the notary, which is when you pay the balance of the price and you receive the keys to the property, normal completion period would be anywhere between 1 month and 3 months. It is possible to do longer completions, and except you can also do shorter ones. Between 1 month and 3 months would be considered sort of standard, if you like. You don't need to be in Spain on the completion. You can be, but you don't need to be, because the lawyer can complete for you and pick up the keys to the property. The lawyer will also work out what all your taxes and fees are on the purchase. If you're purchasing under the FIA, where transfer tax is 7%, we always say that on a purchase of €200,000, all the taxes and fees come to around 10%. If you buy a property that's more expensive, the percentage can be slightly less, and if you buy a property that's below €200,000, the percentage-wise it can be slightly more than the 10%. I always recommend, as a lawyer that's been specialised for many years in probate and inheritance, without any doubt, as soon as you buy a property in Spain, have some Spanish wills drawn up and sign them at a Spanish notary. This is would be a whole another video, but basically if you have wills in place, everything's going to be really easy for you. While if you don't have Spanish wills in place, things can get more complicated and in all cases more expensive. The good news is that there's no longer any problem with the Spanish system of obligatory heirs like there was in the past. Nowadays, you're allowed to make Spanish wills and escape the Spanish system of obligatory heirs by putting a special clause in the will that allows people from countries where there aren't any obligatory heirs to choose their national law to determine how they can distribute their estate. And with that, there's no problems with obligatory heirs. So, I say the lawyer will ask him for a budget to make the Spanish wills and get them done on your first visit to Spain after you've completed on the property. Most lawyers along the coast normally have somebody in the office that can also take care of setting up the direct debits for electricity, water, rates, rubbish and community of owners, and putting them in your name and setting them up by direct debit against your new account in Spain. Definitely take that service because doing it yourself is, you can do, but it's just normally not worth it. Most lawyers have someone in the office that will, for 250, 300 euro, will do those things for you, and it's well worth it. So after the completion, the property is yours. The system is absolutely foul-proof and 100% safe if you use it correctly. And normally it takes the solicitor another couple of months to pay the transfer tax, get all the tax clearances, and register in the property register the new ownership. So anytime sort of 2 months after you complete, expect from your lawyer the following documents: the title deed called the escritura, and then just documentation for electricity, the water, the rates, the rubbish, and the community of owners. He should also give you a copy of your Spanish NIE numbers in case you need them for something moving forward. That's it in a nutshell. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, hit the subscribe button and to see other videos like this. Thank you for watching.